In a significant show of support for Kyiv, hundreds of U.S. combat vehicles have recently arrived at the port of Odessa. The large-scale operation marks one of the most notable logistical efforts by the U.S. military to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities amid its ongoing war with Russia. According to sources on the ground, U.S. Army personnel, in coordination with Ukrainian logistics units, carried out continuous unloading operations at the port. The effort began under the cover of night when Stryker armored vehicles, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, and M1 Abrams main battle tanks were carefully offloaded from cargo vessels. These vehicles represent some of the most advanced ground warfare assets currently available to Ukraine. The unloading continued well into the following day, with additional military hardware including M777 howitzers and other specialized vehicles. The precision and speed of the operation underline the urgency with which these assets are being delivered. Ukrainian officials have not disclosed the final destination of the equipment for security reasons, citing the risk of Russian missile strikes targeting supply depots and staging area. Military analysts note that this shipment reflects a broader strategy by the United States and NATO allies to maintain a steady flow of weapons and vehicles to Ukraine. These deliveries are crucial for Ukraine to replace battlefield losses and prepare for future offensives or defensive operations, said a European defense analyst. The arrival of Abrams tanks, Strykers, and M777 artillery pieces will significantly enhance Ukraine's mobility and firepower. The Abrams, known for their superior armor and fire control systems, can provide a decisive edge in armored engagements. The Strykers and Bradleys improve troop transport and battlefield maneuvering, while the M777 howitzers extend Ukraine's artillery strike range. While the U.S. has not officially confirmed the full scope of this operation, it aligns with Washington's ongoing military aid packages that have been announced over the past year. The undisclosed deployment locations are expected to be near Ukraine's eastern and southern fronts, where heavy fighting against Russian forces continue. This latest development underscores the West's commitment to Ukraine's defense and highlights the logistical challenges of sustaining a modern war effort. With Russian missile and drone strikes increasingly targeting Ukrainian infrastructure, secure and timely delivery of Western-supplied military hardware remains critical. For Ukraine, the new equipment could play a pivotal role in upcoming operations along the front lines. The scale of the deployment suggests that Kyiv and its allies are preparing for intensified fighting in the coming months. The arrival of such a large shipment of U.S. combat vehicles in Odessa is not only a logistical achievement, but also carries significant geopolitical implication. By reinforcing Ukraine with advanced Western hardware, the United States signals its continued commitment to counter Russian aggression and support Kyiv's sovereignty. Military sources indicate that the operation was conducted under tight security measures. Satellite surveillance and NATO intelligence assets reportedly monitored the unloading process to prevent potential Russian strike. Despite the threat, no incidents were reported during the operation, reflecting the effectiveness of the security protocols in place. Internationally, the move has drawn mixed reactions. NATO members have praised the effort as essential for Ukraine's survival against a larger and better-equipped Russian military. Meanwhile, Moscow has condemned the shipments, calling them a provocation and warning that such actions will prolong the conflict. However, Western officials argue that withholding aid would only weaken Ukraine and embolden Russia to push further westward. While the precise number and types of vehicles remain classified, military analysts estimate that the shipment included several battalion-sized units worth of armor and artillery. These are likely to be integrated into Ukraine's mechanized brigades along the eastern and southern fronts, where some of the fiercest battles have taken place. The deployment strategy appears to emphasize flexibility and rapid mobility. Abrams tanks will serve as heavy strike units capable of breaking fortified Russian lines, while Strykers and Bradleys will provide fast troop transport and infantry support. The addition of M777 howitzers will enhance Ukraine's long-range artillery capabilities, allowing it to target enemy supply lines and command posts. Despite the major boost in equipment, challenges remain. Training Ukrainian crews to operate and maintain these vehicles is a continuous effort. The US and NATO allies have been conducting training programs in Europe for months, but integrating new systems in wartime conditions is complex. Supply chain issues, including fuel, spare parts, and ammunition, are also key concern. Moreover, Russia is expected to respond to the arrival of Western hardware with increased efforts to disrupt Ukrainian supply lines. This may involve intensified missile and drone strikes targeting transport routes, depots, and logistical hubs. Experts believe that the newly arrived vehicles could play a critical role in Ukraine's upcoming operation. If deployed effectively, they could shift the momentum on certain fronts and strengthen defensive lines against Russian offensives. The continued flow of Western arms and equipment also sends a clear signal to Moscow: Ukraine's allies are in it for the long haul. With the war showing no signs of abating, the strategic partnership between Kyiv and its Western backers remains crucial. For now, the exact timing and location of the vehicle's deployment remain undisclosed, but their presence alone serves as a significant morale boost for Ukrainian forces and a warning to Russian troops along the front line.